Hello, this is an exciting game played on Foxxy where White managed to win by resignation, killing the top and the bottom side, but till then it was pretty much of a roller coaster because the right side looked very promising for White and Black managed to kill a few stones there and escape with the group. So let's check it out from the start. This is a very interesting game to watch. So we have Black going for a low Chinese Fuseki on the left side. It's strange to start with that on the left. Usually it's played on the right, but okay, maybe the board was flipped. When playing online, it doesn't matter so much. Now White plays the classic approach in the top. It can be the early Sansan invasion, but probably White was a little bit reluctant to do it because Black already has the middle side extension in place. So in this case, Black might go for the left side block, and having the extension in the middle, it feels good for setting up a Moya. So this way, maybe White is not so encouraged to play the early Sansan invasion. But the AI still likes the option to go directly in the corner or consider the attached d4. This is another move that's very common against Chinese Fuseki. We will see in the game later on, White chose to play the Tsuke from the outside, but actually d4 is the common one, and then continue with e3 and simply give up the left side to set up the Moya on the bottom area. So that's a very common follow-up, but White decided to play the classic way. Kick, which I always find a little bit questionable. Actually, it's playable, but in this case, it's good enough for Black to defend the d14 or Keima c14. Because when playing the kick, this will make White thick, and White also has the ideal extension at k16 or k17 in the top. In this case, White played the k16, so obviously White wants to go for some outside thickness, and this just looks pretty good for the top side. But on the other hand, when Black plays e17, he can think about h18, then a one space jump, and l17. But this can be played a little later in the game to damage the top. Now Black played the Hane, so once he plays the Hane and White blocks, the Aji or the follow-up with h18 kind of disappears. And here Black can connect, but White will ignore. Or Black can just play Tenuki. R5 is big and then R14. But it seems that Black wants to really fight with White from the start, so he plays the inside approach. And that's a little bit strange because there is less space in the top between Q16 and K16. So obviously for Black would be more interesting to approach from the outside at R14 because there is more space on the right to set up a base. So when White defends, Black just slides and extend to R11. Or he can extend right away to R11 on the kick, play a Hane in the corner, then extend again to speed up the development on the right side. So when Black plays O17, he's a little bit stretched in that area. Now White kicks. This kick is good because Black doesn't have a middle side extension at K16 available next. Black goes up. White simply defends. Here it's also okay to play the high move because it puts more pressure on the two stones. So when Black plays something like this, Kosumi, Black jumps out and then continue building on the right side while keeping the pressure on the top group. But it's nothing wrong to play R14. More territorial and Black is still under pressure. Phew, this is clearly an overplay. So Black is supposed to jump out like this or Keima or a two space jump, in which case White will usually play Q13 to prevent being pressed down. Then Tsuke, Sansan can be an option, or simply slide in the top. So this group, it's already pretty much alive, but it's quite urgent for Black to fix it. So Black is already in trouble, and when he plays a move like R12, he's just creating another problem for himself. So White jumps, which is very proper. This move separates Black stones. When Black defends on the right, White will surround the two stones in the top. If Black defends the top, White can pincer on the right. So either way is good for White. Besides, when White plays P14, there is no more Sansan invasion available in the top. This will just die. So that's dead unconditionally. Anyway, Black extends in the top, but this kind of move is still painful because for White it's very nice to block. Then Black is supposed to come out with a push, but White can continue with Hane, double Hane, and surround this group. So black decides to play Hane on the second line, white covers. Now here black is supposed to come out between the groups. Playing a 2k like this to make sure he can destroy the relationship between the top stones and the top right corner. It's a bit better because when he covers, he's just submissive, so he allows white this nice surrounding combination. White can also double up here, but it looks more elegant to play the Kosumi. So in this position, black is not completely alive in the top, therefore he needs the Hane and just leave. Okay, now the group is alive, because if white tries to kill with a move like this, black will just capture, Hane block, push block, and then we have it the second eye in the top. But later on we had a co-fight and black didn't respond. So white leaves, but it's painful because he got surrounded and he can leave with like 3 or 4 points. And now R12 is in danger. So white can play a move on the right side to take away the extension. For example, R9, because this is exactly where where black would extend to make a base. If white simply goes for Shimari, like R6, black can extend R9. But even this is okay for white, because white got a tremendous thickness in the top, and this 2-space jump on the right side is still a tiny base, so white can attack it later on. White can also play a move like R8, for example, because when black extends for a little base, it's just too over-concentrated, then white will make the Shimari, and this group is still under a lot of pressure, but let's see what happened. So I decided to play R10. That's possible too, but in this case, it's more interesting to play R9 because this will narrow the gap between the cornerstone and the middle of the right side. Besides, R9 puts enough pressure on R12, on the tiny stone. So when black comes in here, you can play, for example, Keima, then black will look for a base. But even if you manage to leave on the right, which is still over concentrated, his R12, it's surrounded. So, and this way, white builds more on the right side than when white has R10. Let's say we have the same kind of situation here. And then you go Kosumi Q11. So first of all, the base black gets on the right side, it's a little bit nicer, it's bigger. And the capture, when white goes Kosumi to surround this R12, is going to be a bit smaller. Therefore, in the future, it's interesting to think where your opponent wants to play. So, for example, if you play a Shimari here, black is happy to take the 2-space extension, not the 1-space. Therefore, the key move here to pincer, it's R9. So, well, that's a sensitive difference, R10, R9. You can say it's pretty much the same, but it's not. So black jumps out. Obviously, he wants to save everything, but he should just give up that stone and come inside at R5. Now here, white will probably play a pincer. If white goes for R4 and extend, then black extends for a base, and now the Kosumi. In the end, black also managed to get a little something on the right, so it's good compensation, then play something on the bottom. So white jumps along, that's a nice idea, trying to catch everything or at least build a big box on the side. So here it looks like white has a lot of potential on the right side and it's supposed to build a big moyo, but we will see in the game that somehow black managed to escape and build more points on the right than white did. That's what happens in Go sometimes. Here it's good enough to play the Hane. If black pulls back, white can Nobi, so the group is still on the run. When black cuts here, this fight is not so good for black. And besides, the other group is still in trouble. So when Hane, white can turn on Atari, you can play Atari under, Atari again, extend. So now black has two weak groups. When he jumps here, he has a problem with the stones on the right. So just Hane, then when black plays here, either go Nobi or connect. If you're not confident what happens in the cut sequence at P9, it's enough to connect and keep chasing this group because black is running on neutral points and white can build a nice box on the bottom area. Also, if black goes up, white can bump, black needs to Nobi. There's a cutting point here that you can push and use right away, but it's also okay to defend. Black defends, and you still keep the pressure on the entire group to build a lot on the right side. So Hane seems more interesting than bump, but if the bump and cut works, that's okay too. So white wants to catch the two stones right away, which seems playable. And yeah, Black realized he cannot really save them now, so he switched to a new fight, which makes sense. White doesn't always have to play this kind of attach, even though it's big. You can think about R7 here, because this will keep the P10 stones safe, and black is still on the run. So when black plays here, you just extend and you develop the bottom and the right side. Anyway, this makes sense because you keep the corner and there is no room for black to extend on the right. So it's still okay. But on the Hane here, cut is not too bad. But on this move, white can just block. Black has to pull back and then catch these stones to keep it safe. So this way, black is still on the run. Black needs to play something like this jump. White can continue along and then finally do something to reduce the left side. So cut first. Okay, this creates an empty triangle. Still okay. Atari here, fine. Push couple of times. But instead of this jump, white should go back and protect at Q12. Because once black connects, white's liberties on the right side are not too many. So it's difficult to fight a semi. And for example, if here black tries to catch the two stones with a net, white can still fight. Push like this. If black no-B, you go out. If black plays the Hane, you have Atari, then Atari like this, and now connect. So it's not so easy for black to surround and catch those stones. Therefore, black is still under attack with all the groups. So white decided to save these guys, but now the stones on the right are in trouble. Black played Kosumitsuke. Black should actually just connect here and now try to kill the stones. If white plays no Tetsuji, go down, on the push, go down again. So this Kosumitsuke is looking for some fight in the center, but now white has time to fix the right again. On this move, just connect. On wedge, come out. So black is actually still in trouble in the center. White is not going to block here and allow the snapback. So white push right away. This push is hoping to surround the middle stones. So probably white expected black to extend once and then cut the stones on the right. Now when black comes here, just go out. Oh, but black push here first. Okay, this makes things more interesting. Tac. So just no B. It's more interesting because the four stones are in trouble. So if black pushes again or simply connects, you can catch these four stones and they are important. Black needs to save the group by connecting to the top, and it's not such a big deal because now you can no-B and all of a sudden these guys are in trouble. So that could be a good trade. So we have a cut, then you must catch the two stones, that's correct. But now, yeah, this wedge, it's a problem. So if white simply captures, black will Atari, then black can play the Hane under. Now, if you push here, black will just block and it's finished. So here, normally you need to block. Black can play a throw-in or just Atari, then connect. Now, either connect or attach here. So, let's see this. Atari take, connect, then you take a liberty, goes down, and then he goes down again. There are two more liberties. Also here, black can throw in, Atari, and connect. So white has three liberties. And if white tries to catch these guys in the middle, that's a little problem. Because once you Hane and black comes out, black can make more liberties. So black has 1, 2, 3. White has also 3. So black needs to block. But if this happens, we will have a Semidori. So black had to play several moves inside to kill those guys. And white got the wall on the outside. So this could be actually profitable for white. Therefore, it's okay for white to capture once and see how black will try to capture them in order to get these outside 4C moves. So white played away. Now this Tsuke, it's a little bit strange. White should still use D4. Now if black decides to block E4 and you just go in the corner, this is a very comfortable life to take away the corner. Black needs to extend and you can still use the variation on the right where you get to play the Hane in the center. So with all this potential in the middle, black is not going to build too much on the left side, for example. So with this 2k, black can just go up. Black actually played Hane, quite aggressive. We could see this guy was aggressive from the first moves. So counter Hane, connect, and defend. That's normal. If black plays Atari here, white goes down, black connects, white needs to play Atari to capture stone. Black can go Atari from the outside, and if you connect, he can also block. So here you need to take, then he plays the Nobi, and normally you need to extend like this, or maybe a little bit higher. And then he can jump on the left side to build a pretty big box. So all of a sudden, this looks like a good game for black, because he was in trouble on the right side and he captured some stones, so he fixed everything here where he was dying big earlier. Then for the exchange of 2 stones, white has pretty much the same territory as before in the top, and this bottom side, which is not so big as the left side. So this would be black who has the first chance to win the game. So black played all of a sudden pretty cautious. This move is good, but before playing that, should still force black on the right. Well, you can jump here to make more liberties actually. Let's see what happens now. There's a chance black might lose the semi. So 1, 2, 3. No, black is still okay. Black has this Suji, Atari, Descent, and Descent. Yeah, black still wins the semi by 1 liberty this way. Okay, so we don't play that jump because it's a minus to play S7 and then still lose everything. Just play on the outside, force black, capture the dead stones, and then play on the bottom. 1 space jump here. I mean, it's similar to Nobi, but narrows the gap, so when black turns, you just Nobi, push again, Nobi, and you build this nice territory, plus the potential in the center that radiates some power towards the left. So, well, that's quite similar to what happened in the game. So back to the game, white pulls back. Black turns once, that's good. Now he captures, so no more squeeze play. Yeah, this is quite proper. White turns, so white got a pretty nice bottom side. Then black jumps in, but this jump, it's a little bit late. So the only thing black can do here is to reduce a little bit with a jump like this and a push or a peep. But these moves can wait. It's better to play them as co-threats. So now black should focus in increasing the left side while reduce the middle. But he jumps in and then he just dies. Yeah, nice idea to remove the base and go up. But here, white doesn't have to turn. Simply jump back to connect to the left. If black pushes, you pull back. If black plays O2, you block. If black plays here, there's nothing to worry about. You can peep to make sure there are no eyes. But this exchange, when you turn, it kind of helps black, because you still need to come back here. So don't play moves that are unnecessary and helps your opponent during the fight. Just go back and defend. If he plays here, you can go down, you can peep. And if he plays this one, you're not going to play M3, but block to make sure there are no eyes. When he does this, peep. When he does this, block. When he makes an eye, you just let it be. It's 1. So Atari, then block. Dangerous. Now he can try to catch these 3 stones on the bottom, but he didn't. So what if he plays Kosumi? How are the liberties? Hane block, connect. That's a bit of a problem for white. White can push and cut. So there are 1, 2, 3 liberties here. Okay, but black can catch the tail. So it's still good. In fact, black will play here. Yeah, and now, even if black loses this side, he got the 3 stones and he escaped with a big part of the bottom group. So that invasion, we can consider it was successful for black. But he played like this. Let's see what happened. And got cut and captured everywhere. Yeah, nothing to do. If he plays here, white will push and this. Now block. Black has to go to the left. Then Oh wait, my bad. White is captured now. Oops. So how this happened? Tuck. Yeah. Aye aye aye. Hmm. So actually black could live inside. Yeah, just Nobi. But he connected here and now white captures the stone, so he's dead. Phew. So first black was supposed to be dead. Then he could escape. And in the end he still died. So yeah. Lucky strike. White can Nobi first and then block. There is no way out. So once white surrounded and killed this group, now white is ahead to win in the game. But the left side still got pretty large. Here it's not necessary to play that move. It's better to play Atari here than a Nobi. Now if black cuts like this, you block. He needs to connect the two stones somehow. Anyway, there is still one eye. And then you come out or you keep chasing these two stones to make more liberties in the center. Or go out like this and then look for a net. So connect. Then finally the bottom group is dead. But black goes for a big potential on the left. This is not enough. To jump something like that to grow the left side. So now white gets on the left. And that was all good. Here black usually wedges, and then when white connects, he tries to get inside a little bit. This peep, questionable. White is connected, and actually white should just go down. Then look for Keima and so on. If black defends here, Keima like this, reduce a little bit. Everything is centered. The group is connected in the middle, so it's all fine. So somehow white lost the liberties here. But that shouldn't happen. Yeah, so we have this cut, Atari, escape, that's good. Keep going because there are not enough liberties. Hane, only 2. Block, that's fine. Atari connects, so there are 2 liberties. This Atari is not necessary. It just reduces your own liberties. Better play here, threaten a double Atari, then black defends. You got 4, black has 2. So now it's good to play here, in fact, because this threatens to capture the 2 stones. Now if black defends the top, you take 2 stones, so you don't have to play inside. If black defends here or takes away liberty, it doesn't matter because you still capture faster. So now you better ruin the corner. So this would be a simple way. But here white had to pay attention. So instead of this connection, just d12 to have 3 liberties and threaten the double Atari. Now when black defends, you can play in the top, connect or capture the stone, whichever. Then when black plays here, you capture faster. If black comes out to make more liberties, just block and he still got 2 liberties. So this was white not paying attention. All of a sudden, black got some bonus points on the left side. And white is supposed to go for compensation in the top. So play Atari here. Even though black can catch 2 more stones, at least to save some face and make use of the e16, it's good to play Atari, then damage some more points, and now defend the center. This Hane on the bottom line, on the bottom side, it's not that urgent. It's big for both, but I mean, there were bigger points. Saving the 3 stones in the middle, which threatens the double Atari also, and this one, much better for white. Well, after this, white can go c2, but, well, this Atari is small. You just cut here right away. If white tries to resist, black goes out, then Atari, and then cover. So white has to give the stones. Just Atari and give them up. Well, this is what white will do anyway. So Hane. Wait a second. It's more interesting to capture this stone. Right, actually this will happen. So catch here. Black was supposed to descend. But yeah, the capture in the top, it's annoying too. Okay, so he defended that. Now here is good for white to take right away. Because if black goes down, white doesn't have to add another move at b3. White can play away. And if black doesn't go down, so let's say black plays Hane and connect, then white can continue center with b4 and a5. Atari connect, defend. So, and also when black plays Atari, white has the option to fight the call. White doesn't have to connect and allow the connection. So here, for black, the proper move is to descend. But in the game, when white goes down, black will descend and white needs another move. So the difference is you take right away, black descends, but now you don't need to play b3, you're not committed. Why would you take gote when you can play the push here, then Atari like this, and connect, or actually no, there's a better way. Kosumi here and descend like this and play everything in sente, and also this one. And then double Atari or Atari and push inside to erase more points in this area. So back to the original game. Gote for now, instead of direct capture, peep, but that doesn't have to live inside. White should just block. If black goes up, white will block because there is no more cutting point here. And if black goes R18, there's a very simple way to kill this group. You can push first and then play the S18 Tesuji and connect under. Not even one eye in that area. So playing like this allows the connection underneath and black gain a little bit. You should go for the kill on the entire corner. On this move, it's also okay to connect Q19 because when black plays R16, you have a Tesuji at T16, then you push, cut, and extend. So there is no ko in the corner. If he plays this move, you can play S19, then you push, then Hane, and on this move you push, and on this one, just Atari, which is also a double Atari. When black captures, you can Atari like this. When he tries to come out, push, and keep pushing, and then Atari, and catch those stones from behind. So either way, white will keep all the corner points. Okay, some reducing combination in the middle, which was good. Oh, that was quite a nice escape in the end. In center, how it happened. Yeah, black should connect here and then add another move. Either this one or this one. Then white will push a couple of times, but the 3 stones are still captured. So white managed to take those stones out. Even center, that's spectacular because black had a problem with the snapback. Here black should Atari and then connect. There is no point in losing 2 more points. So black didn't read this out. Then he saves the corner. And this is the position where black should go no B, then Atari and connect to avoid a ko fight. Now we have a ko fight coming up. And actually black should fight this ko. I mean, just connect and keep fighting. If he loses a few extra points in the corner, it's still better to keep the top group safe. But I think white is already fine. I mean, after killing this big group on the bottom side, it would be okay. And now white killed the top, and that was it. In the top area, black should play here because he will build more points, and later he can go down R19. So when white plays away, black plays this, and he builds 5 points in the corner. Then he blocks. Playing like this, white can play this one, then Atari, then throw in again, Atari from behind, Atari, block, and in the end, white only black builds only these 2 points. Well, of course, a few captures, but I mean, these 2 points he could build anyway, and the other 5 in the corner, but those 5 in the corner disappeared. So that's a good endgame sequence to remember. And here white was supposed to play the descent and everything in cente, and later Atari and catch. So that's a better order of moves. Okay, white got the cente anyway. Here we go. Game, it's over. Now here, in the top right corner, white has S19. If black connects, white will Atari, and this is a ko fight, because if black connects here, everything is in Atari. And now black needs to fight the ko to keep all the points safe, but white has this Atari as a ko threat, then come back, and it's tricky. So in order for black to prevent or avoid the ko, black needs to take a T19. Then white will Atari from the outside and black can't connect because it's a snapback here. So black needs to play this move. Then we have the throw in again. If black connects, you take everything. So black needs to capture. Then you take the stone on the outside. Black needs to connect. Then you take another stone and black needs to connect again. So the Tesuji is not to play Atari, black connects and he builds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points here. But you play the throw in at S19. So playing a move at P5 is just 1 point. But when you play the throw in, he needs to take, then throw in, he needs to take, then Atari, sorry, first Atari from the inside, Atari from the outside. He has to answer everything. Oops. I'm rushing here. So Atari. Oh la la. Yeah. That's a call. So bad. So yeah, on this move, connect here. On this one, connect here. On this one, connect here. So this means throw in. Black might just defend T15. Then white captures. But anyway, he's losing all the points in the corner. So he only gets the points around T13, T14. So that's another little thing to remember from this roller coaster game. But overall, pretty good performance by white. So I hope you enjoyed this review and think about all these little details and play even better next time. Cheers.